Hello. Today's Saturday and it's day 7 of Vlogmas. I've got the lovely Esme with me this morning, giving me lots of cuddles and trying to stop me from sewing. My workstation is all set up behind me and the beast is all lit up and ready to go. Before I do that, I just want to share with you, I finished my knitted jumper. This was the broken honeycomb jumper that I got from Hobbycraft, and the wool is 100% wool, WI wool, and I've done it in a dark green and cream. Lots of cable on it, so it's taken me a long time to do it. So if the ladies watching who I saw at Harrogate Show who've done a beautiful one all in grey, I've done mine too. So I thought today we'd have a break from talking all sewing and I'd give you a little insight into my knitting dilemma or problems. Knitting takes a lot longer than sewing, and my mind wanders and I end up with a few whips, but I'm trying to keep them down. So let's talk about what I've actually knitted and finished so far this winter. Exhibit A, really pleased with this one. And Exhibit B was this baby. You've probably seen it before, but I absolutely love it. A few people have downloaded the pattern. This pattern was from Etsy, and I'll put the link in the details below if you want to give it a go. It knits up a bit quicker. This one's double knitting, but this one's a chunky yarn. Absolutely love it to bits. So what other knitting projects have I got on the go? Well, I've got 3 more, so it's not too bad, but they take that long to come together. It is quite bad if I want to get them all done by the end of winter, because I don't knit in the summer. I only do it autumn and winter time. It's my snuggle up in front of the telly little hobby. So as well as doing cardigan and a jumper, when Steph and I were down in Anglesey last time, we got sucked into Sewing Street. Well, she introduced me to Sewing Street, and the West Yorkshire Spinners Forager Blanket was on there. There's an image of the blanket. It's a knitted blanket, and we bought the kit. So I'll just show you where I'm up to with mine. Here we go. Let's just get all this out of the way. Now there are 192 stitches on these needles, so it takes forever to do one row. But I've nearly finished. I've done the first panel, patterned panel at the bottom, and then is it Fair Isle? Fair Isle-ish, that looks a bit Fair Isle, doesn't it? The next block is the mushrooms. Can you see my mushrooms? I'm loving them. So I've literally just got that to finish at the top. And then I go on to the next plain pattern block. So I'm sort of plodding my way through it. By the end of next winter, I should have a forager blanket. But yeah, pleased with my progress because it takes a long time to just knit one row. And I only do it at night time when I'm watching the TV. And the blanket is keeping my legs warm as I knit it. So a double winner there. This next one, I've had on the needles for quite a while, I'll be honest. I started it and then fell out of love with it, and I don't really know why. But there it's... Just chuck the bag on the floor, Christine. But there it is. It's... looks more complicated than it is because it's just 3 plaited cable patterns that get... The one up the middle stays up the middle and the 2 outside ones get pulled in and then they're getting pulled back out again. and then the edges are just moss stitch. Is being knitted in Rowan yarns and cotton soft yak, I think, double knit, something like that. I'll check what the name is and I'll put it at the bottom. In a beautiful rose pink, because it's like a cotton knit. I'm probably thinking it's more spring and autumn rather than winter, and that's why I've stopped knitting it. But I've got that far and then stopped, and I don't really know why. So I need to get back into that one. Otherwise, it's not going to get done, is it? And it's beautiful, soft, snuggly yarn. So that's number 2. And then I've only got one more. Now, this is what I've been taking to my Knit and Natter group on a Friday, because you need something fairly plain and then you don't get lost with your pattern. So this is it. You need feel-o-vision for this yarn, because, oh my goodness, it is super, super soft. Not sure what the content is. Should have brought the ball band in with me, shouldn't I? But hey, I'll put the details of what the yarn is below. Now, it is knitted on a 3.3 1/4 and 3 3/4 milli needles, so it's quite fine. It's finer than a double knit, but not as fine as 4-ply. In between, I think. So that's where I've got to with that. And that's the pattern that I'm making. So it says on there, it's alpaca cotton, the yarn. And it is absolutely super, super soft and fine as well. But it's just a rib knit pattern all the way up with stripes in. Obviously, there's shaping to it. But it's great for taking to my socials because it means, hopefully, I can't go wrong in theory. So, 3 things on the go. What do we think? That I would say by March, 1, I don't want to buy any more wool because I've got 3 things that I need to finish. And 2, I want to get them finished as well. Do you knit? What's on your needles at the moment? Do you just knit in winter like me, or do you knit all year round? If you knit in the summer, what sort of things do you knit in the summer? Because I go off the boil a bit with it, well, completely in summer, and then I dive back in again when the weather starts cooling down. So I hope you've enjoyed a little insight into my world of knitting instead of sewing. And we've got to do our give back, haven't we? Let's talk about the gift back for today. It's not a gift for you guys, and it's not something that's going to cost me any money today, but it's promoting a small business. Now, you'll have seen the other day that I go to a quilt class at a shop called Quilters Quarters in Longridge, and I did put a bit of footage for it up earlier in the week, which I'll probably run here if I remember to pop it up. Emma runs it with Carol, her mum. They do a lot of quilt classes upstairs in their little studio. Carol takes us for our quilt class, and what she doesn't know about quilting is not worth knowing. I'll pop a few of I'm assuming the Carol's, or they might be Emma's quilts, but they're dotted all over the studio, and I took a few photos when I was there last week. So there'll be a few pictures of the quilts that they've made themselves, and some of them are absolutely phenomenal. So they do classes, and they have a Facebook group, which I would absolutely recommend. If you're interested in visiting the shop, joining in the classes, or you want to buy from them, you can do that through their Facebook group, and I will pop the link for the group below. So that's my gift for today. I'm gifting you the information of a small business in Lancashire that is like an Aladdin's cave of a shop. So pop over to Longridge, give them a visit, and if you're further afield, join their Facebook group and find out what they're getting up to, because there's all sorts of information on there for quilters. Last but not least, it's Advent time. So today it's another bag makers, and I've been organised and I've fished it out. So we're doing day number 4 of the bag maker box. I want to say these are zipper pulls again. Maybe not. Might be sweet actually. Feel very strange. Let's get this baby open. I'm sure I won't be disappointed because everyone I've opened has been phenomenal. The best Advent box I have found on. Ooh. Now then, I'm very confused here because I don't know what I've got. I know what they are. Figured it out. Figured it out, girls. Don't panic. There's all sorts of little bits in here. So they're the grommets. And I think what they are, I think, I don't know what they are actually. I might have to go away and find out what these are. But my guess, let's get one of them open. Right, so that unscrews. My inexperienced guess is that these are the little feet that you put on the bottom of a handbag. Maybe, because it's a bag maker's box. So there's some of those and some grommets as well. Now I'm hoping if I go onto the Studio 77 page, then somebody will be able to tell me what these are. But they're clearly bag making. They've got quite a weight to them. And I've got 3 sets of those. And then how many of these little... So I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I've got 6 little grommets that presumably go with one of each of these. So are they feet for the bottom of a bag? You know those little things you can put on? Interesting. It's good to get something you don't know what it is. But I'm going to find out. And when I've figured it out, next time I open, by the time I open the next one, number 5 of this bag maker's advent box, hopefully I'll be able to tell you what the heck these are. Okay, the machine's lit up. She's raring to go, so I better get some sewing done. And I will see you all tomorrow for another day of advent shenanigans. Happy sewing, love you loads.